Paulina says, I met a man yesterday for the first time and we exchanged numbers. He said I should write him. Then what should I write and when? Or should I wait until he reaches out? Well, what he was doing is he was saying, here, chase me, right? This is pretty typical for what guys have been doing recently here in the world, in the West anyway, because a lot of women now are chasing men in the West. That's just what's going on, which is why you don't want to do it. However, sending one text message doesn't mean that you're chasing him. What does mean that you're chasing is if you're always the one initiating, if you're the one setting up the plans, if you're the one asking him out, if you're the one doing everything, that means that you're chasing. If you just send him one text message and you're like, hey, this is Paulina from the other day. It was fun meeting you, right? Period. That's it. That's all you send him, right? Because he needs to know who you are. You need to send him. He needs to know who you are, know all that kind of stuff. When you tell him that, he'll remember you, and then he'll start talking to you. After that, you should leave it up to him. You should leave it up to him to start chasing you, to start proving to you that he's interested in you, to ask you out on a date. Don't ask him out on a date. Don't set up a date for him. Don't, drive, 2 hours to go see him. Don't move everything in your schedule out of your way to go and hang out with him. He needs to show you that he's as interested in you as you are interested in him, at least, if not more, right? Because if you want to have more control over your dating life and have better results with men, date men who are just a little bit more into you than you are into them, right? And he is asking you to chase him, which I get, right? I get it. Totally get it. Because it's in his best interest for you to chase him. It's in your best interest for him to chase you. And it's in your relationship's best interest for you both to build the relationship together. And so what you want is you want him to be the man and to lead and to do most of the work. And you want to still do stuff, right? Like I get women all the time. I mean, just all the time. Just like all the time, right? And I don't know where they get this from, but they'll be like, Matt, I'm leaning back. And as soon as I started leaning back, he told me I'm not interested in him and that, all this. And it's like, well, if you're leaning back, you're probably not doing what I'm talking about, right? Because a lot of women think leaning back means I never reach out. I never initiate contact. I never do anything, which is not leaning back. That's not what I teach. That's not what I talk about. What you need to do is you need to build some of it too, right? I talk about different percentages like 80-20 or, 60-40 or even 50-50, right? You can build things completely together, assuming that he still has this movement towards you. He's still planning things. He's still asking you out. He's still doing all these things. You can do those things as well, right? But if he's not doing any of those things, you don't want to be chasing him and pursuing him and doing all those things, because then you'll miss the fact that he's not really interested in you. You'll miss out on the fact that he's not really invested in you, so he's not worried about losing you, and he's not falling in love with you because he's not putting in any of the work. And it's the investment principle that helps a man stay attracted to you, backwards rationalize how much he likes you, allow himself to fall in love with you. And so that's what you want him to do. That's what you wanted him to do. I hope does that make sense there, Paulina?